Hi guys, good morning. In the last session you seen that how a pyruvic acid become lactic acid without fermentation, and on the other hand how pyruvic acid become ethyl alcohol or ethanol in the process of fermentation. In the both the cases, where does carbon dioxide was liberated? In fermentation, right? So whereas in the aerobic respiration, let us see the fate. Glucose, which is a 6 carbon component, becomes a 3 carbon component, that is the intermediate of glycolysis, that is 3-PGAL, 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. So this is 3 carbon component. Why I am repeating means you have to know everything. If you watch many times, you will easily recall in the examination. So phosphoglyceraldehyde become phosphoglyceric acid. Phosphoglyceric acid also 3 carbon component. But again I am telling you, whenever aldehyde becomes acids, NAD become oxidized. So NAD plus become NADH2. This is oxidized. Whereas this PGA become PEP, phosphoenol pyruvate. This phosphoenol pyruvate releases phosphate ion and become pyruvic acid, right? So many steps are common in the glycolysis of both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Now I am telling you the important factor that this pyruvic acid never undergo the fermentation or anaerobic respiration in the presence of oxygen. In the presence of oxygen, pyruvic acid become oxaloacetic acid. Oxaloacetic acid acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A is formed from pyruvic acid in case of aerobic respiration. Where does this reaction takes place? All these reactions are takes place inside the cytoplasm in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes, in aerobic and anaerobic respiration. But for this process, mitochondria is required. Mitochondria. Mitochondrial involvement in the aerobic respiration now begin. Let us see this step in depth. If you want to know a complete details about complete oxidation of the glucose in the aerobic respiration, you need to understand the locations, particularly glycolysis, Krebs cycle and electron transport. For that purpose, I am just taking an assistance of imaginary diagrams. If this is the cell, when glucose molecule enters the cell, undergone glycolysis in the cytoplasm, isn't it? Inside the cytoplasm, glucose become pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid. No doubt, pyruvic acid is formed inside the cytoplasm. That pyruvic acid going to the mitochondria, where mitochondria is present in only eukaryotic cells. So that aerobic respiration is possible in eukaryotic cells. This pyruvic acid enters the mitochondria. This place is called matrix. Matrix of mitochondria. When pyruvic acid enters matrix of the mitochondria, then inside the matrix, Krebs cycle takes place. Krebs cycle is the second most important step in the aerobic respiration. That kind of a step, nothing but Krebs cycle, you cannot observe in the anaerobic respiration. Reason? Mitochondria is absent. Fine. Now, inside the cytoplasm, what has happened? Glycolysis. Glycolysis. So, glycolysis is the first step of the respiration, right? That takes place in cytoplasm. And Krebs cycle is the second step in the aerobic respiration that takes place in matrix of the mitochondria. In the matrix of the mitochondria, while pyruvic acid is converting, so many reactions that takes place. After some time, I will tell you the initial points of that particular cycle. So after Krebs cycle, NADPs, NADH2s and FADH2s were formed. NADH2 means nicotinamide dinucleotide phosphate. FAD means flavin adenine dinucleotide phosphate. These are alternate forms of ATP. Clear? Means ATP directly gives energy. NADH2 oxidize and give 3 ATP. Okay? 1 NADH2 is equal to how many ATP? 3 ATP. And FADH2, these kind of structures you will find in the further classes. Just remind, FADH2, 1 FADH2 gives 2 ATP. Just please remind this. At the time of Krebs cycle and electron transport, you will understand. So, NADH2s, FADH2s are formed, but they never provide ATPs. As I said, NADH2 is giving 3 ATPs and FADH2 is giving 2 ATP, but not in mitochondrial matrix. They are formed in the Krebs cycle. In glycolysis, ATPs are produced. Yes. NADH2 is produced. Yes. But in Krebs cycle, ATPs were not produced directly. GTPs will be produced, FADH2s will be produced, and NADH2s will be produced. They are the source of ATP. When those molecules like NADH2 and FADH2 and GTP molecules converts into ATP, means in the electron transport chain. That is the third step. That is called ETC. ETC full form is electron transport chain. Where does this electron transport chain exactly occurs? Means inner membrane of the mitochondria. This is inner membrane of mitochondria. This is also called a crystal. This is called crystal. Folder-like structures inside the matrix of the mitochondria is called crystal. I tell you 3 phases of respiration happens in 3 different places. First step, glycolysis, cytoplasm. Second step, Krebs cycle, matrix of the mitochondria. Third step, electron transport chain in the crystal, inner membrane folds, it takes place. As mitochondria is absent in prokaryotes only glycolysis takes place. That's why anaerobic respiration is least energy yielding process. All these 3 steps giving 38 ATPs finally, so the high yielding process. If you remind, in glycolysis of aerobic and anaerobic both, there are 2 NADH2s are formed. But in non-fermented anaerobic respiration, while forming the lactic acid, that NADH2s are reoxidized, and formation of ethanol also required that NADH2. So that further ATP conversion will not be required. But here reoxidation process is absent, so that ATPs and NADH2s are formed in the glycolysis can be carried into the next system. I repeat, NADH2s are alternate source of ATP, but they cannot be credited into ATP in the anaerobic respiration. Reason, they are reused to form the ethanol and lactic acid products. But as fermentation or anaerobic respiration is not happen in the aerobic respiration, the products of ATP and NADH2s are further carried into the Krebs cycle in the aerobic respiration. So, mitochondria helps in Krebs cycle and electron transport. Also, two important points I should discuss here with you. That number one, the complete oxidation of pyruvate by the stepwise removal of all the hydrogen atoms and leaving 3 carbon molecules, means carbon dioxide form. If these two are not happened, that glucose oxidation is partial. I told you many times in the last session. Anaerobic respiration, glycolysis is partial oxidation. Partial means what? Incomplete. Why? Inside the glucose, hydrogen is not releasing, carbon dioxide is not releasing completely. So it's not oxidized. Carbon-carbon bond should be break. That was not completely happen in the anaerobic respiration. Between the carbon and the carbon, some bonds will be there. They should be broken up completely. That means glycolysis. Complete oxidation of glucose. So releasing of hydrogen atoms and carbon molecules present in the glucose C6H12O6. Oxidized and water should be released. Hydrogen atoms are released and carbon atoms also released. Then only oxidation will be completed. The first point telling you, complete oxidation takes place with the help of mitochondria. Second step, the passing on the electron removed as a part of the hydrogen atoms and oxygen and ATPs will be synthesized. Okay, in the first point you come to know that hydrogen atoms and carbon dioxide molecules will be released. Okay, from the products, from the substrates they will be released. While producing ATP and oxygen, what is happening? The released hydrogen molecules are transferring through the inner membrane of mitochondria. That is why it is called electron transport chain. While hydrogens are shifting from matrix to inner space to matrix through the crystal membrane, ATPs will be synthesized. It is a very typical phenomenon. In future classes you come to know. So oxygen will be released, water will be formed. So end of the respiration, what will be formed? Oxygen react with the hydrogen, water will be formed and ATPs were synthesized. Okay, along with the ATP in respiration, what will be produced? Water. End product of the respiration is water. Clear? Now let me explain you the pyruvic acid, how it will enters mitochondria and forms acetyl coenzyme A. So pyruvic acid, how pyruvic acid becoming acetyl coenzyme A? In the matrix of mitochondria we are discussing. When pyruvic acid enters mitochondrial matrix, immediately one coenzyme bind with it, and in the presence of an enzyme, every reaction monitored by enzyme. I said here the main enzyme is pyruvate dehydrogenase. Don't confuse to remember the names of enzyme. If you understand the principle, the formula, what happened exactly inside the reaction. Here what happened? Pyruvic acid become acetyl coenzyme A. In that reaction, one NADH2 has been formed, right? Okay. NADH2 is formed from NAD. So NAD required H, so that NAD plus H2, H plus H, then NADH2. Where does this H is coming? From pyruvic acid. So that enzyme, AS means what? Enzyme that remove the hydrogen from the pyruvate. So the name is pyruvate dehydrogenase. Pyruvate dehydrogenase is present in matrix of the mitochondria. That's why Krebs cycle will be initiated. So here what is happening? In the mitochondrial matrix, due to the presence of pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme, pyruvic acid under the presence of coenzyme and NAD, acetyl coenzyme A will be formed. I am talking absolutely about one pyruvic acid. You should always keep in your mind about number of pyruvic acids formed by one glycolysis. 2. What I said is 1. You have to multiply. If one pyruvic acid means pyruvic acid is equal to 3 carbon, acetyl coenzyme A is equal to 2 carbon component. How 3 carbon component become 2 carbon component? One carbon should be released in the form of carbon dioxide. See, 3 carbon minus 1 carbon is equal to 2 carbon. Now it is balanced. So it is decarboxylation process. Entire this reaction step name is decarboxylation. Decarboxylation means what? Removal of carbon in the presence of oxygen. That is why it is called oxidative decarboxylation. Carboxylation means adding of carbon. Decarboxylation means removal of carbon. As removal of carbon is taking place in the presence of oxygen, this step is called oxidative decarboxylation. Oxidative decarboxylation is a phenomenon in which 3 carbon component pyruvic acid losing 1 carbon in the form of carbon dioxide, and here one NAD become oxidized, become NADH2, clear, and acetyl coenzyme A is formed. All these reactions taken place at the site of mitochondrial matrix. You have observed this as a reaction, but if you see the reactants and products clearly, you can understand. So pyruvic acid plus coenzyme plus NAD. Okay, 1, 2, 3. These 3 are involved. Then, in the presence of magnesium ions, for the decarboxylation process, magnesium ions are required. And enzyme called pyruvate dehydrogenase. Pyruvate dehydrogenase, short form I have taken. PDH, pyruvate dehydrogenase. These all are reactants. And enzyme name is pyruvate dehydrogenase. Cofactor is magnesium ions. Then what is the product? Acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A plus NAD become NADH2. NADH2 plus what has been formed? Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is also formed now here. So that these all are products of the oxidative decarboxylation. Oxidative decarboxylation products are acetyl coenzyme A, NADH2 and carbon dioxide. Whenever in the mitochondrial matrix acetyl coenzyme A is available, then Krebs cycle will be begin. So initiator of the Krebs cycle is acetyl coenzyme A. So you have to think oxidative decarboxylation is a connecting step, connecting link between glycolysis and Krebs cycle. Oxidative decarboxylation takes place in only aerobic respiration. As this process is lagging, also mitochondria is absent, their NADH is reusing and forming ethanol or lactic acid according to the circumstances available for fermentation or not. But here, as oxidative decarboxylation is present, pyruvic acid becomes acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A is going to become citric acid. Citric acid. Citric acid is 6 carbon component. Formation of citric acid from the acetyl coenzyme A that takes place in the matrix of the mitochondria is called Krebs cycle. So next class we will discuss about the Krebs cycle. So this is how aerobic respiration glycolysis means the pyruvic acid fate is different with the anaerobic respiration pyruvic acid. I hope you understand. No need to recap. Understand the concept? Reaction to reaction, what are the enzymes are using, why that enzyme name has been given according to its property. Practice the cycles twice, then you will get. Hope you enjoyed the class. Understand the concept. Go through the textbook lines or material once again related to the topic, not extended. So many topics will be there. historical aspects are there about the scientists and their achievements and everything that we will discuss in the classroom program. Main concepts I am going to discuss with you, right? So attend the assignment neatly. All the best.